In the sprawling training arena aboard the Interstellar Academy of Zorvax Prime, rows of alien cadets with translucent skin and 6 limbs watched with fascination and a hint of fear. The instructor, a towering insectoid being named Kroth, announced today's exercise: hand-to-hand combat simulation. Opponents will spar with simulated resistance only. No life-threatening damage is allowed. Most students flex their appendages, their nervous clicks and chirps filling the air. Among them, a single human named Leo stood out, not for his size, for he was no larger than most Zorvaxian juveniles, but for the calm intensity in his amber eyes. Where others fidgeted, Leo radiated focus. Where others studied the techniques nervously, he seemed already inside the fight, anticipating every move. The first match was routine. Leo's opponent, a wiry Zorvaxian named Rill, lunged with a tentacle sweep. Leo sidestepped, countering with a move that would have looked clumsy if done by anyone else, but which Rill was powerless to block. In a flash, Rill stumbled, and the audience erupted in curious clicks. Humans were fast. Then came the challenge that would make legends. Leo was paired with a hulking, 4-limbed Bronter named Hecker, whose combat reputation was nearly unmatched among the Academy's first-year cadets. Kroth nodded to start the bout. The Bronter's fists slammed forward with earth-shaking force. Leo danced around the first blows with uncanny agility. Then, in the middle of a spin, he miscalculated. A heavy punch landed squarely on his arm. There was a sickening crack. The audience gasped. Alien cadets had seen bones break before, but never in someone who didn't collapse. Cease the simulation. Kroth barked, his mandibles trembling. Hecker froze. Most students would have curled up, their system screaming in pain, their combat instinct overridden by self-preservation. But not Leo. Leo gritted his teeth, felt the pain radiating through his arm, and adjusted his stance. The fracture wasn't clean, he could feel it, but he clenched his jaw and ignored it. Every alien in the arena froze, their multi-lensed eyes widening. The fight continued. Hecker's fists hammered relentlessly, but Leo moved with a precision that seemed impossible for someone with a broken arm. He ducked under a sweep, twisted, and delivered a kick that sent Hecker staggering. The alien audience was silent, unsure whether to cheer or panic. "How?" muttered one of the cadets. "A human should have collapsed." Kroth watched with a mixture of disbelief and grudging respect. "This is extraordinary," he murmured, adjusting his sensory receptors to track the human's vitals. Leo's adrenaline was off the charts. Pain should have slowed him, broken him, ended the match. Yet he fought on as if the injury were nothing. By the third round, Hecker was visibly frustrated. The brute strength that had dominated nearly every cadet was useless against a human who didn't just react, he adapted. With a deft feint, Leo caused Hecker to overextend, and the Bronter's momentum carried him into the arena wall with a thunderous crash. The impact rattled the viewing platform. The aliens erupted, some in alarm, others in awe. Leo didn't celebrate. He simply held his broken arm close, breathing heavily, eyes scanning for the next threat. Kroth finally stepped forward, halting the match. "Enough," he commanded, voice vibrating through the arena floor. "Cadets, note this carefully. Observe a human. He endured what would have ended any of you, and kept fighting. Not through recklessness, but through will, precision, and an understanding of his own limits." The alien students whispered, their clicks and hums expressing a mixture of fear, admiration, and disbelief. Humans were extraordinary. Fragile by biology, yes, but capable of resilience and adaptability that defied alien logic. Leo's eyes met those of a young cadet across the arena, a nervous Zorvaxian named Thierry. Thierry's tentacles twitched in hesitation. Leo gave a small nod and a grin, pain etching faint lines across his face. "Keep going," he seemed to say without words. The lesson was clear: brute strength, multiple limbs, natural armor, none of that mattered as much as determination, strategy, and the unshakable refusal to quit. In the halls of Zorvax Prime, that human would become a legend, not just for his fighting skill, but for proving something far more important: sometimes the heart of a species is stronger than the sum of its biology. From that day onward, whenever a cadet doubted themselves, they whispered, "Fight like the human." And somewhere in the stars, Leo's reputation grew, not just as a warrior, but as proof that humans, fragile though they seemed, were capable of remarkable feats when they refused to yield.